Hi there, welcome to Grain TV. I'm Kevin McNew. It's Wednesday, October 5th, a mixed day in the markets. Let's take a look at Grain Edge's trading platform and see where we closed. In Chicago, corn closing fractionally lower, beans off 7, and wheat showing upside potential for the first time in a long time, gaining 10 cents a bushel. Let's start first with some of the news that was driving wheat prices. Egypt, on the one hand, has been in a buying mood. They are buying not only wheat, but they're buying other commodities as well in anticipation of a currency devaluation. Prime Minister Sharif said that they are looking to build commodity stockpiles for at least 6 months to potentially move their currency lower and stock up on commodities in advance. That certainly is a good sign. We've got a few weeks ago we got past the ergo restriction that they were limiting trade, and now they're saying they're going to be stockpiling commodities. That helped support the wheat market, as did another deal by Morocco, where Morocco bought 260,000 metric tons of U.S. white wheat. So overall, good demand numbers coming out that help support the wheat market after a really abysmal few trade days as a result of the quarterly stocks report that was very bearish. Other news out today, Argentina looks to be growing more corn and wheat and less beans. The Buenos Aires Grain Exchange says they expect farmers there to plant 20% more acres of corn and wheat and give away some of the acres in soybeans, much of that due to policy changes in the last year that have eliminated export taxes on corn and wheat, but kept the export taxes on soybeans. So that is sort of a mixed bag. Obviously, we want fewer beans, but we'd also not like to see a big bump up in corn and wheat production, which is what Argentinian farmers seem to be doing this coming growing season. Also out today, Informa came out with their own U.S. crop production numbers on corn. They stay pretty much in line with USDA's expectations. Corn numbers they call for 174.5 bushel corn yield. On soybeans, they are higher than USDA, but not as high as FC Stone was. FC Stone coming in at 52.5, Informa today coming out at 51.6, but that is still above the 50.5 bushel per acre mark that USDA had in September. Keep in mind, we'll have fresh USDA data in another week from their latest surveys. Also out today, news that the Mississippi River is now open along Lock 17. That had been shut down for 5 days because of flooding problems, so that's a good sign. And we're seeing basis levels actually start to strengthen a little bit. St. Louis was up a couple of cents today on corn and beans as probably rains are slowing harvest in the western corn belt, and we're seeing the river system open back up again. Let's turn now to the energy sector. Crude oil got another positive news event thanks to EIA's weekly stocks number. They showed crude oil was off, or crude oil inventories were off 3 million barrels. That's in contrast to traders who thought that crude oil stocks would actually be up 2.5 million barrels. So for the 5th week in a row, we're seeing crude oil numbers, or crude oil inventory numbers, that are smaller than expected by the trade. Also positive was gasoline stocks that were not as high as expected. Gasoline stocks grew 0.2 of a million barrels versus a 0.7 million barrel bushel, or 0.7 million barrel build in gasoline that had been expected. So overall, that got the crude oil market continuing higher, gaining over $1 a barrel, looking to close in on that pivotal $50 a barrel mark. So watch for that if you're concerned about higher crude oil prices. Turning now to the EIA ethanol numbers. These numbers were off slightly in terms of production, but the good news really for ethanol was the big drop in stocks, going 400,000 barrels lower than what they were last week, probably in reflection of better gasoline demand that we saw in the gasoline inventory data. Let's take a look at the wheat trade action. We've had a pretty abysmal wheat trade, especially going back to August, when the wheat market really just sold off 60 cents. And has had a hard time recovering from that level. As we look to where we're at today, we're bouncing up into that 410 range. It's going to be difficult, I think, to maybe penetrate that, but watch for that in the next day or so to see if this day's rally will continue into tomorrow and into Friday. But right now, 410 is the upside, and on the downside, 390 is underlying support. Overall, we haven't really changed the outlook too dramatically in terms of the wheat market. We still have plenty of global supplies out there. It's still a very competitive marketplace, but it is positive to see some export business starting to move, not only in Egypt, but also in Morocco, that may help turn the tide a little bit. That's all we've got for today on Grain TV. As always, visit us online at grainedge.com to learn how we can help you in your own grain trading situation. As a Grain Edge trading client, you'll get our technical alerts email first thing every trading day. Technical Alerts is a powerful system that generates quality trading opportunities. Each trading opportunity shows a chart and analysis providing clear price targets and risk potential. Technical Alerts look at historical chart formations and compare the current environment to the past to form concrete trading recommendations. The commodities covered by Technical Alerts includes grains, livestock, crude oil, currencies, bonds, and metals. Start your trading day with the most powerful insight into market direction and improve your trading today. Sign up at grainedge.com to become a client.